that flipping and you're onto them is that they will begin flirting with other people. They're on social media. They're looking for another narcissistic supply. They need a narcissistic supply to survive. And if they're getting the inkling that that's not going to be you, they're on the move, and they're on the move quick. So you can expect to see evidence of flirting. You can expect to see evidence of them love bombing someone. They may start even hitting up your friends. They might start hitting up on your sister or your brother or whoever. So they're going to start looking for another source of narcissistic supply. And you may begin to see evidence of this on social media, or your friends are going to start telling you, wow, she's looking really, really good, and she came to the office party without you, and or we saw him out at this bar and he was flirting it up with a waitress. You're going to start seeing evidence of them needing to secure another source of narcissistic supply. Social media is the perfect place for a narcissist, because remember that narcissism is about the false self, and narcissism is about mirrors, and narcissism is about needing to have people on the outside reflect back to them the sense that they're awesome and everything's fine. A narcissist needs to look into the eyes of another person and think that this person thinks that they're great. Once that starts to slip and that starts to dissolve for a narcissist, social media becomes a great place to find another source of supply. So don't be surprised if you start seeing evidence of somebody with high narcissistic traits planted up on Facebook or Instagram. The third thing that you might experience once the mask starts to slip is triangulation. Suddenly you are becoming isolated, right? Suddenly or not suddenly, or just probably, it's probably more amped up, where you're noticing that your soon-to-be ex is suddenly telling you that your friend said this, that, and the other thing about you. Or the narcissist is taking your words, right, and they're twisting it, and they're telling other people that you said something that you never said. So what they're trying to do is break bonds between you and the people that you care about, right? And so let's say you have a really strong relationship with someone. Don't be surprised if the narcissist tries to throw a monkey wrench into that relationship. That's triangulation. That's the way they are acting out their rage, and that's the way they are responding to whatever happened between the two of you that tickled their narcissistic injury. In some cases, a highly narcissistic person will come off like they're doing you a favor. Oh, I just want you to know, even though that you and I are on the outs, I just want you to know what Mary said about you. And you know what? I never told you because I loved you. But you know what? Now I realize that you need to know that Mary's not really your friend. Mary may have never said anything bad about you. Or you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to tell Carol that you said this, that, and the other thing, because Carol needs to know that you're talking about her. You never said anything negative about Carol, but this person is going to try to act like you did to separate you and create cracks in the bonds that you have, the strong bonds that you have with other people. So this is what triangulation is all about. And this is what a narcissist will do once the narcissist realizes that you understand that they're a narcissist and the relationship is beginning to have a fallout. Number 4 is the smear campaign. So once you have had a falling out with a narcissist who has love bombed you and who has made you, has believed that you see them as amazing, and all of this, the whole facade begins to fade away, the narcissist has got to deal with all of their anxiety and all of their anger, and their black and white thinking has put them into a very, very dark place. And they don't know how to regulate those emotions. They don't know how to look at themselves like, well, what did I do to bring this on? Or when was I overreactive? Or, when was this person overreactive? And, they're not able to look at things realistically and understand that bumps in the road are a natural part of relationships, or people make mistakes. They can't forgive, right? They don't know how to forgive themselves. They don't know how to forgive other people. It's, you hurt me, now I have to destroy you, right? It's even if it's, I hurt you, and now you're pissed that I hurt you, and now I'm going to destroy you, right? Or I tried to take advantage of you, you called me out on it, and I hurt you, and now I'm going to try to destroy you. That's just what happens. There's this desire to destroy other people who they have become entangled with, who for whatever reason have tickled their narcissistic injury. So a smear campaign is what? A smear campaign is gossip. A smear campaign is lies. And a narcissist puts you in a position where they know that you can't defend yourself, or that it's hard for you to defend yourself. They want you to. They want to pull you into this wrestling ring, right? They want you to wrestle in the mud. They're doing anything to bait you, and you've got to do everything you can to not take the bait. If you don't take the bait, then this energy that the narcissist is putting out there has to return to them. We've got to stop opening up our mouth wide and taking this energy in and putting ourselves in the position where we're getting pulled into these smear campaigns. It's very hard to accept that other people have the right to say what they want about you, and that you can't control it, and that other people, based on their mental state, they're going to filter this experience through their lens, through the narcissistic lens. It's never going to be their fault. They're never going to see themselves as someone who's gossiping. They're always going to rationalize and justify why they're creating gossip around you, why they're lying about you, why they're distorting facts, and why they're trying to destroy your name. It's always going to run through the backwards rationalization. They're very immature. They're stuck in some earlier stage of development. It's very knee-jerk. I'm in a relationship with you. I feel hurt. I have to hurt you. That's the only way they get to feel in control of their reality. So it's important, if you're dealing with a smear campaign right now, it can be very unsettling. I've dealt with so many clients that have had to deal with someone else's smear campaign, the lies, the gossip, the Facebook posts, the Google reviews, you name it, coming to people's work situations, talking to the employers, trying to make this person look like an evil person, all to justify their anger and their rage, right? It's so difficult to just say, okay, this is what I'm experiencing in my life. It is possible to push a narcissist back, and I guess it depends on your life and what you're going through in your life, and just how far over the narcissist crossed the line. But my basic advice to people who are going through a smear campaign is just let it die in the vine, right? Don't pick it up. Imagine that the smear campaign is like an electric rod and you don't want to touch it. Let the narcissist pull in whoever they want to pull in and just let them have each other. Try not to get too involved. Save your pretty, save your wrinkles, save your energy. Don't invest too much time on a smear campaign. Just let it go. Number 5, really interesting. Amongst other things that a narcissist will do once they realize that you figured out who they are is they might discard you, right? So now that you're not so willing to roll over and, lay on your back like a puppy or a kitten and let them say and do whatever the hell they want to you and, say whatever they want about you, you might not be that much fun for them. Once that they look into your eyes and the reflection is, I don't trust you, once that becomes too unsettling, for them, they might ghost you. They might pack up and leave. I've read so many stories and I've heard so many stories from people who are involved with narcissists who just wake up one day and they're just gone, right? They don't return a text. Their money's out of the bank account. Their car is missing, whatever. They're just gone. This does happen. As hard as it is in the situation, if you're that person, you're the lucky one. I know it's hard to hear that, but if you've been living with someone and dating someone and they're just gone and you think they're a narcissist, I know how hard that is. When you think about what could happen if a narcissist sticks around to try to make your life miserable, I kind of feel like having them just take off is the best thing for you. So narcissists discard people when we're no longer any more fun for them, when we're exhausted and we just can't play the game anymore. We're just not that fun. A narcissist doesn't want to be around someone who's like, you're a liar, you're lying, that's a lie, I know you cheated, I talked to that person, I followed you there, I have taped recordings, I know you're lying, nothing you say comes true. A narcissist doesn't want to hang out with that person. A narcissist wants to get away from that situation as much as possible, especially if they're not like a violent narcissist, right? They're just not happy in this space anymore. Like they have used you up and they're done. Another thing a narcissist will do if they finally figured out that you're sick of them is that they begin to give you the silent treatment. So they're starting to pick up on this idea that you're changing, and now they start stonewalling you. They give the silent treatments, yes or no answers. They can become very passive aggressive, very mysterious, and you begin to feel very unsettled around them because you don't know what they're going to do next. So these are some of the things that you can expect to experience when you're dealing with a narcissist, and the narcissist knows that you know that they're a narcissist. If you're dealing with a domestically abusive narcissist, you have to protect yourself. You have to have an escape kit ready. You have to have a safe person ready. You have to have a shelter that you know that you can go to at any point or any time. Make sure you have all that information ready in case you need it. Make sure you have cash ready to go, clothes ready to go. You know, if you have to talk to school counselors so that they understand what's going on, pediatricians, your doctors, lawyers, you need to have people in your corner that you know what you're going through in case you need to move quickly. You know, they'll know what's going on. You may have to delete your Facebook. You may have to delete Instagram. You may have to change your cell phone number. You may have to get a new phone. You may have to move. You have to be willing to do whatever you need to do to protect yourself and your family. The next thing that you're going to have to do, dear one, is you're really going to have to grieve this relationship. You know, that's what we're going through in our experience here on the home front, is that the person that I love that's going through this, we're trying to teach them to grieve this relationship. When you realize that you've been in love with a pathological liar, you don't understand how this could have ever happened. It's hard for you to wrap your mind around this idea that everything was an illusion and everything was a lie. You ask yourself, did this person ever love me? What was this all about? And, you know, when you come out of the fog, it's like, wait a minute, I never had a narcissist. I never had a relationship. Everything was an illusion. And it's so mind-bending. So it's really going to be important to move into the grieving process so that you can finally move into the healing stage of ending the narcissistic abusive relationship. Once you know that you've labeled this person a narcissist, then you can actually heal from it a lot more quickly. Because once you know what you're dealing with, it's so much easier to label it and say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Now let me get really, really smart about what just happened to me so that I can move into the healing stages of narcissistic abuse. And there definitely are stages that you can move into and you should move into, and move into them quickly. Grieving the relationship is going to take time. Understanding what you're dealing with, really, really important. Understanding how narcissists behave when the mask starts to slip, really, really important, because it helps you realize you're not crazy, that they're actually really predictable. And unfortunately, they lack self-awareness, they lack empathy for you, they're black and white thinkers, and they go into this downward spiral of you're all bad now, and now you've suddenly become the enemy. And so it's really, really important that you do what you can to arm yourself emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially, spiritually. Do what you can to disengage and dissociate from this narcissist. I really hope that this video on what you can expect once the mask starts to slip with the narcissist